Dollar Tree has an amazing section with all kinds of yarn in different colors and thickness, and I absolutely love crafting with them. I'm going to start with all these colors, and we're going to use these colors in all these crafts today. Love how fluffy and soft they are, and the colors are so vibrant. For this first craft, I'm going to pair it with this canvas. It's a square type, and I love that shape because it's so different. I'm going to remove the plastic from it, of course, and the tag. Now, this one had a little bit of scuffs on it, so I'm just going to brighten it up with one light coat of Waverly chalk paint in the white. Of course, you can skip this if yours is nice and clean. Absolutely, go for it. But I'm just going to give it a nice quick one, and while that is drying, I am going to take one of these stitching needles. I love these. I get on Amazon, and I do have them on my Amazon store if you want to check them out. They have a large eye opening, and you can just thread the yarn right through it. Now, you just have to kind of like squeeze it and then pull it, but it goes through really easy. And this is the medium size needle. All right, so my board is dry, and I'm going to take this stencil from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to start stenciling the word hello. So I'm just going to start in the center with the letter L, and I work my way outwards. And then I'm going to keep adding each letter one by one. All right, so then on the bottom, I want to add the word sunshine. So I'm here practicing because I'm so nervous, literally so nervous. But that's it. I had to just go for it. So I'm going to do it in cursive, and I'm just going to write the word sunshine and then extend the ends for that cute little look. And I think I did really well. I think it could have been better, but I think overall, I was sweating. All right, I'm going to grab some markers here. These acrylic markers are fantastic. They are my favorite. Love them. And I picked colors that complement and match the colors of the yarn that we're using. I'm going to fill in each letter with one color, and then I'm going to keep doing that on each letter. While I'm doing that, I want to tell you, I want to do something different on this video. If you want to ask me anything, write me a comment down below. Just anything you'd like to know about me, my family, my background. I'd love to get to know you better, and I'd love for you to get to know me better. So give me a question down below. All right, so moving along, I want to do the shape of a circle, and I'm going to use this tape because I think it's the perfect size. I'm going to trace it with the yellow marker, and then I'm going to fill it in with the marker. Of course, you can use paint as well if you have that. Again, these acrylic markers are fantastic. They're just like painting. One end has a brush style tip, and the other end more of a traditional marker tip. Love them, and I do have them in my Amazon store as well. All right, so now I'm going to make 5 dots around the top of the circle. This will be the sun. And I just started in the middle, and then the 2 outwards, and then 2 in the middle of those. And then I'm going to do dots on the top of it, lined up with those dots that I made around the sun. But I'm going to make 3 dots at the top. So 3 dots for every 1 dot on the sun. I hope that makes sense, and it will once we start doing what we're doing. That being said, I ended up doing 4 dots in the end. But I started with 3 because I thought that would be sufficient. I'm going to start threading the pink yarn through the back of that middle dot that we did. And I'm going to keep doing this, threading it again through that same hole at the bottom. But then when I go to the top, I'm going to do the other dot next to it. You see that? And I'm going to do this again and again. So I'm going to thread it again through the bottom hole, the same hole, and then bring it up from the front. And then we're going to do on the other dots. And again, remind you, I started with 3 dots because I thought I would want only 3 strands. Later on, you're going to see that I added 1 more on each one. So once I'm done with each color, I'm just going to cut off the excess and then tie it in the back in a simple knot. And I'm going to do this again and again with each color. All right, so I sped that up a little bit because it's very repetitive. So there you can see the 4 strands with each color. I'm just going to tie this last one here. It's looking so cute. Oh my word. Okay. So we are going to make a little hanging piece. I'm just going to knot this in white nautical rope from Dollar Tree on each end. And I'm just going to hot glue it to the side. So instead of the back, I want to add it to the side. So I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue and then just hot glue each side and hold it until it hardens a little bit and then do the other side. And this will give it a nice look and a little different, I suppose. Look how cute this is. It's my favorite from today, but I love all of these. I can't wait for you to see them. Let me know what you think of this one down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we are going to take one of these foam rings. Recently, I did a video using foam rings, and I love using these for crafting. I'm going to start with a white yarn. Now, this one's not from Dollar Tree. I couldn't find one that was fluffy at Dollar Tree, so I'm just going to use this one from Walmart, which I love, and it's the same texture, fluffy, soft. I cut off a piece that was about 36 inches long, and I wrapped it around the bottom of the ring. Just it. Then I did the same thing with the pink one, another 36 inches, wrapped it around very closely, and then I'm going to secure it in the beginning and the end with a little bit of hot glue. That's all it needs. Then I'm going to move on with another color and just going to keep the same pattern all over the ring. And I'm going to use the same colors that I used earlier, except I'm adding the white yarn. So I'm going to keep doing this all the way around the ring. All right, so I'm not going to show you the entire thing because it's very repetitive, but this is what it looks like. Fluffy, soft, and so colorful. All right, we're going to take these yellow flowers with the beautiful leafy greens, and we're just going to add a couple here on the left side of the ring. And because it's foam and yarn, it goes right through. Adding a little hot glue will secure it in place nicely. Of course, I got to add a pop of color in the middle, and I'm going to add this pink flower. I think it absolutely complements the design perfectly. So cute. You can add whatever you want to hang it. I'm going to take some more of that white rope because why not? I'm going to wrap it around. I'm going to make some knots. Now, this is going to look bulky. Not quite sure it's the right hanging piece for this, but I wasn't sure. So for now, we're going to use this one. That's it. But I could change it if I want to. I think this is stunning. Again, the colors are just bright and beautiful. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we're going to take one of these square wooden pieces. I love using these. You know that. I've used them all the time. All right, we're going to remove the jute string, and then I'm going to add some paint. Now, I'm just going to paint the top, and this is going to make sense in just a little bit. I'm just not sure how much of the actual top you're going to see. So we're just going to do the first top half. That's it. While that's drying, we're going to make some tassels. I'm sure you've made these many times before. We're going to start with the yellow yarn. We're just going to use this little paint tray to give me a nice size that I need. I'm going to wrap it around 10 times. And if you notice, I added that little strip at the top because we're going to make little tassels. So once I have it, I'm going to tighten that piece at the top and then remove everything from it. Then I'm going to add one more piece about an inch away from that top portion and tie it. You see how it's looking like a tassel? All right, so then we're going to make a nice knot and cut off the bottom. At the end, I did cut off a little bit more, but this is where we're at. I'm going to keep repeating the same process for all the same colors that we used earlier. All right, so we're going to do the last tassel here, and then we are going to now add some Mod Podge to the board. The paint is dry, and we're going to do that iron-on technique that I love. So I'm just going to add a layer of the Mod Podge everywhere, and then I'm going to put it to the side to dry. In the meantime, we're going to make a little tassel rope here. So I'm going to take some white jute string, although you can use yarn if you want, and I'm going to thread 2 beads right there. Any color you want beads, I like the natural wood tone. I'm going to tie one of the tassels on one side of the beads, and then the pink one on the other side. Don't worry about cutting the string just yet. You can do that here in just a second. See? All right, so then we're going to add more beads and another tassel. 2 beads and another tassel. We're going to do that until the entire thing is done. Looking adorable. All right, so now we're going to take this calendar page from a Dollar Tree calendar. You know I love using these. I'm going to cut off the portion that has the little hole, and then I'm going to iron it on the board. I left about 1.5 inches at the bottom, give or take. All right, so I'm going to take my sanding block. I'm just going to start sanding downwards. This is going to remove the excess paper from the sides and also leave those edges nice and smooth. So here we are. I decided to cut the tassels because I now know how much space I have at the top of the sign, and that way I know how long I want the tassels. Once cut, I'm just going to attach it to the top. First, I'm just going to tie it very tightly. So I'm going to wrap it around, tie it in a knot, and I'm doing it pretty tight. So this is why jute string works better than yarn, because you want it nice and tight. And then I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue at the knot. That way it's not going to come apart. And I'm going to hot glue some of the beads. This is going to add extra security, I guess, stability with the weight. This pink ribbon is from Dollar Tree. I'm just going to add it to the back to be able to loop it and hang it. That's it. Such an easy craft. Again, so fun too with the colorful yarns. It adds so much texture. You can use any design from any calendar or make your own design. I'd love to know what you think of this one. Let me know down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we're going to make a massively large tassel. So we're going to start with the white yarn. I'm going to wrap it around so many times. I'm going to use the canvas just as a template, just to be able to wrap all these yarn around. I started with the white and then moving on with each color. I'm going to do 10 times each. Again, this is going to be massive. So I'm going to add all of the colors in, and then I'm going to take an extra piece of the white yarn, put it in between or behind all the yarn, and this is what we're going to tie at the top. Tie it nice and tight. Once that's done, you're going to remove everything from the canvas or whatever else you used. We're going to open up all those loops. Before we cut them, I'm just going to open them up. That's it. Now I'm going to take another piece of yarn, and then about 2 inches, give or take, I'm going to add another one. So you just tighten it. This is going to give it that tassel look. Now we're going to make something different here. I'm going to use this wooden piece. Now if you have a ping pong ball, if you have a small, like a large wood piece that is round, that would be even better. This is all I had, so I'm going to make it work. I'm going to hide it in between all the yarn. You see that? I just want to hide it in there. And then I'm just going to, with my hands, continue to comb all the strands. Continue to hold and continue to comb until everything is nice and snug, nice and smooth. Take another piece of the yarn and wrap it around the base of that. Make a nice tight knot. And this is going to give you that like double, I don't know, like double loop, I guess. So it's just nice and tight in there. Now I'm going to comb all those strands and cut them straight. It's so satisfying too. All right, so this is going to be a nice little decorative piece you can use either at a mantle or hang it somewhere, whatever you want. I used the same stitching needle that we used earlier, and I'm just going to thread both yarn pieces through it. And I'm going to start adding some of these colorful beads. I had these left over from other projects and other things that I just didn't use. I kept them in a container. I'm going to start threading white, pink, yellow, blue, orange. This is going to complement the yarn colors. They're not exactly the same, but it works really well. And I'm keep doing that until all the way up is filled. At the end, I'm just going to tie it in a simple knot. That's it. What a gorgeous little piece you can make. Now, you can make the beads even longer and loop them, and you can hang them on a sign, on a door handle, whatever you want. Such a fun piece, but let me know what you think down in the comments. I have another video here for you with tons more of Dollar Tree DIY crafts inspiration. Check it out. I'll see you later and have a blessed day. Bye.